Hi. This video is about the next song on the new record. But before we do this, I wanted to say that I just watched the first 4 videos I did. And I did them in a row, but not first takes. This is pretty tough, so I have to start over again sometimes. It's the first time that I'm doing this kind of videos and sitting in my room alone and talking into the camera. And it's fun, but it's also strange. I also realized, I'm talking a lot about music theory and using a lot of musical terms about the chords and the scales, the arpeggios and the intervals. And I like theory. It helps me a lot to understand things. Excuse me. When I like some kind of music, I immediately actually want to know what this is and how that works. And theory helps me to figure that out. Also, theory sometimes helps me if I'm not sure, where to go or what's the next step with a composition, or even on the spot when I'm improvising. And as I'm telling you about these tunes on the new record, it's really like explaining them to you, but also explaining them to me. So you could say the theory comes after the music, although sometimes it also helps me if I have some kind of concept to create something. I told you about the family of blues chords in the Skipper video, and something like that really inspires me and really gets me going. I think, at least for me, this is the hardest part to start, because it's always the question, what do I want to do? Where do I start? And if I have some kind of concept, that helps me to get things going, because when I start something, when I do something, and when I have a good start, things are running, by themselves actually. But there's always the danger, if you have some kind of theoretical concept, to get into it too much, or maybe to forget about the music. So I think of it like, it has to pass the music test. So if I have a concept, some ideas out of that concept, they can sound cool, and that's great, and they pass the music test. It's got a vibe. It's maybe inspiring to improvise with it. It's got a groove. It's pictures in your head pop up, something like that. Then it's then it's music. Then it's good. And also, maybe out of the same concept, you get some kind of music that doesn't sound so well, and then it doesn't pass the test, and then I try to leave it behind. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's really about the sonic experience, and the sounds and the mood of the music. The next piece is called Green, and it's a really different color on the new record. because this piece uses acoustic guitar. And it wasn't this one in the studio. I just got that one a few weeks ago, and I'm so happy with it that I would like to play this today. But the guitar in the studio was also an old Gibson, an L2, I think. And it's also nice. I like how that sounds on the record. The tune is on the album, it is in C sharp. So I tuned down a half step, all the strings, and then I dropped the then E flat string to C sharp, because the tune features our drummer, Etienne, who is really a master in snare drum playing and extended snare drum playing. So he can actually, I don't know how he does that, but he can play melodies and, you know, drone notes on his snare drum by moving some kind of really thin stick in cycles on the head of the snare drum. And I asked him, what notes does his drum create the best, or, you know, because he can't play all 12 notes. And he explained it to me, and then we decided to do this tune in C sharp. Now I'm just in standard tuning and drop my E string to D, so it's just a normal drop D. And I play it for you in this key. I hope that's okay. So on the record it's a half step lower. It's got two parts, and again it has some kind of folk music vibe, I think. Also, I think this song is pretty much inspired by the music of Jimmy Giuffre. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's got an A part, which is in D, and the whole melody has notes from the D Dorian scale, and I think that's what it makes it sound so it sounds for me a little bit like Irish folk music. I don't know so much about it, so I will be really careful, but I think it has that kind of vibe. And I'm playing, you know, this drone notes D, A, D, and also I'm playing this D all the time while I'm playing the melody on top. That's the A part melody, and I'm trying to let ring as much as possible. So it's just on one chord, and then it goes to the B part, which is in G, and I'm using the D and the G string as drone notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end of the B part, we play this A minor chord. And the B part melody is also out of the notes of D Dorian, which makes it then G Mixolydian. Frank is playing his electric bass, which is half acoustic on this track, like on all of the other tracks. He just used this instrument, and we recorded it. Jan Philipp, who recorded and mixed the album, he suggested, of course, he set up a mic for the acoustic guitar instead of, because there were no electric guitars, so these microphones weren't used. So he also set up an acoustic mic for the bass, and it's not an fully acoustic bass, just half acoustic, but there's some sound coming out of it, and it was a really nice idea. And I think we used a mixture of the acoustic signal and the electric signal in the mix, and that makes it sound so special. And then together with Etienne's singing snare drum sounds, it created a really nice and really different atmosphere to the other pieces that are often, with drum grooves, and this is much more quiet. And Jan Philipp did some beautiful choices about the reverb, I think, on this one. Yeah, I really like how that came out, and it feels like this tune is not so much me, but it happened that I wrote it, and I like it. I like it as a color on the record, and as a pretty different color than the other tunes. So thank you very much for your attention, and see you in the next episode. Bye.